And we're back.
Mm.
We're back.
Mm.
We're back.
2016. It's been too long.
It's been too long.
We actually had Jordan fly in from San Francisco to Madeira.
That's true. It was a very low flying trajectory, though, with 4 wheels on the ground. Heading back to San Francisco tonight. Thought I'd stop in Madeira. Do a little podcast.
I like it, man.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? First and foremost, I just want to thank you for all your help last season. I think I literally might have lost my mind if I had to try to run this league last year. Like, I came pretty close to losing it as it was. And not because I don't enjoy it, but I want to do it well, man. You know, like, I want to do it well. And I was not going to be able to do it well.
Struggle was real, man.
I was just going to start throwing my laptop and throwing things.
It gave me an appreciation for what you do and what you have to put up with.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's not that... And what's hard is, it's everyone, by and large, is cool, and it's normally fun.
Yeah.
But anytime you have 15 people and there's any sort of justifiable conflict, you can sympathize with that individual. But the individual doesn't understand that this is not the only thing that's come up like that week for you with someone.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then you seem like a lunatic. But you know what, to be fair, everyone was real good. Everyone's been real cool. And I appreciate that. It's been a lot more fun.
Except the new guy with that dick. What's his name?
Tegan, yeah. What a douchebag.
What a douchebag.
Yeah.
Who recruited that guy?
He's going to be cool. He's going to work out.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, he's already shooting down ridiculous trade offers, so that's a good sign.
I can't even remember what he said.
I think he's going to... Yeah, something about pissing in someone's mouth. Yeah.
Welcome to the league.
If you actually know Brian, he's like one of the chillest, like just coolest customers on the planet. But yeah, it'll be funny.
Which he relocated? Yeah, he relocated
to
the franchise?
to Reno and the Wild Orchids or whatever the hell that strip club's called. Yeah, I think he's gonna do better than the previous owner there. Previous owner there has like 2 kids and a wife and like a full-time job. Yeah. Brian, he just he sits in an office most of the day waiting to crush people's heads. So
he's perfect.
Yeah, he's perfect.
It's perfect for the league.
This league's a perfect like compliment to like anyone who sits at a computer all day.
Yeah. Which
I think myself and a few other guys, that's the case. And fortunately it'll be easier. Anyways, this is dragging on way too long. Anyways, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping out, and I know I can rely on you to help out in the future.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. All right, how are we kicking this thing off?
How about we walk through some of the rule changes? I know that's come up recently.
Yes.
So
by the way, if you haven't voted yet, I'm forcing everyone to vote on this one. So we got all the time in the world, and there's no reason why you can't vote, because one of the options is I don't give a shit, basically, or don't change anything. So the guys like Darren.
Yeah.
And sorry Darren, I put you on blast, but you don't vote on anything. Anyways, yeah, I want to make sure everyone's on the same page about stuff this year. That's one thing I already decided I was going to be better about. I've given up on the fact that not everyone's going to use the Facebook page, and not everybody's, and people have good reasons not to, and that not, you know what I mean? So I think I have everyone's like wireless settings set up now. The only one I don't is Drew, but Drew's really good about getting stuff on Facebook Messenger, and he's moving back to the States soon.
Oh, nice.
So he'll have a phone, and he'll be more accessible than when he's in Belgium on a completely different time schedule than everyone else. But yeah.
Welcome back, Drew.
Yeah. I think he'll actually be back before the season starts. I think he told me June. Yeah. Right. Thanks for your service, Drew.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Still rocking the solid fantasy team.
Yeah. Sorry the Predators got their asses waxed by the Sharks tonight. But.
Too soon.
Yeah, I can't believe I was actually choosing to watch playoff hockey over that Spurs Thunder game.
Yeah,
but yeah. Anyways, that game sucked too.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. So rule changes.
Rule changes.
So there's really only one that I feel like, which is the flex thing, and obviously there's some pros and cons of that. Like there's the discussion of, does a flex help the teams that are already stronger? I think it does, but But what I like about a flex is too, one of the hard things I know for me, at least looking at my roster every year, is I always want to be somewhat injury proof. So I'll have guys on my lineup that are strictly handcuffs in case someone goes down. Well, if there's a flex, now I'm more tempted to steer away from my handcuff and try to get someone more talented that I know is going to be possibly in my roster, 3 or 4 times throughout the year. So it still rewards it. So it rewards depth on a roster more, but it also changes the strategy a little bit. Or that's just my initial thoughts when thinking about it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think my initial thought was, I think it could create a bigger disparity with teams that haven't, because I think there is a select few teams that have good depth that I think this could benefit immensely, where there's guys who have done a really good job of building up deep rosters, where it's like, sweet, now I can play another one of my good players, where there's guys who have teams that don't have depth that, they'll just be tossing some scrub to play the flex position. So my first thought was, okay, this could make a bigger disparity. I think it benefits my team, so I like it. But I can look at both sides. I could see that it could create a wider gap, but
there's really only, to me, 2 or 3 teams that are really in bad shape. Like, I look at it and I'm like, I'm not sure I could get this team to 500 this year.
Yeah.
If it were me.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's still going to come down to injuries, and it's still going to come down to who drafts the right guys and who finds the Odell Beckham of 2 years ago and who you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's still the Allen Hearns of last year, guys like that. So, that being said, I still think even and here's the reality, even those bottom 3 teams, if they got the right guys and got a little bit lucky and avoided injuries, they could still squeak into it playoffs. I mean, 8 teams make the playoffs. Of course, it sucks being the bottom 4 compared to the top 4, but
yeah,
you never really know. I think last year that kind of unfolded too. There were some irate people over some trades that seemed to really favor. Like, I think about the trade Garvin and I had in the middle of last season where everyone looked at it like I got Devontae Adams and Carlos Hyde and gave up Bilal Powell or freaking what's his name, Darren McFadden.
Oh yeah,
in a pick, and everyone was irate about that. Well, Devontae Adams sucked ass, and Carlos Hyde was hurt the rest of the year.
Yeah,
and Darren McFadden went on to be the 13th best fantasy producer last year, running back. So, and he turned it on from that point forward. He became the starter. So, you never really know.
Yeah. That's the beauty of fantasy football. You really never know.
Yep. But yeah, Garvin, you gotta get something going, man. It's looking dire over there with no picks and not a whole lot to do.
Well, the best example can be you had a pretty solid team last year. You just coasted through the regular season, and then just a couple. Mari's team got hot at the right time and then just blew you away.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about... I'm going to avoid.
Or, I can look at my team. I had the highest score overall, and I still...
Yeah, I think you did.
I lost McCoy my last week. Beckham was suspended the last week, so I was just kind of...
My team took a fat dump down the stretch, but ultimately it wouldn't have mattered anyways because I ran into David Johnson that 1 week.
Yeah.
So I look at it as... It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Because I could have been kicking myself if I lost a tight game, but instead it was oh, no, I lost to 190 points. All right, well, wasn't beating that. But yeah. So back on the flex, though.
Yeah.
I do like it because I think it does, the better teams it'll take a little bit of luck out of it. You know what I mean? But there's still going to be plenty of luck, to go around. But
and I like what you said that it does reward depth. So if
you don't
build
have
that
to
depth you have
now. Everyone has a better reason to not be so freaking worried about one of their running backs going down, and you have to have their handcuff.
Yeah.
If you have Adrian Peterson, you don't have to have Jerick McKinnon, or if you have. DeMarco Murray, you don't have to have Derrick Henry, even though, actually, that's a whole nother topic altogether. We'll
rookies.
Yeah, rookies. No, but handcuffs are not going to be as critical, I don't think.
Yeah.
Still important.
That makes sense.
I think if there's obviously a handcuff there for the taking that I think might produce anyways, you got to do it. But
yeah.
Anyways, that's my 2 cents on the flex. And
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is removing kickers.
Yep. I know that there's been...
I don't really care either way.
I think only one person has voted for that.
I feel like kind of a hypocrite because I was just talking about how I like how the flex removes a little bit of the random factor.
Yeah.
But then, for some reason, I like the random factor of kickers. Like...
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm always so much more interested in the game where I have a kicker in it because I'm just praying they get stalled out on the 35-yard line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to miss not being able to cheer for that.
Yeah, there will be a nostalgia with kickers. And that's always just been a part of fantasy football. You pick a kicker.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a tradition.
Yeah, and so that's
the traditional wild card.
Yeah.
If anyone tells you they can predict kickers, they can go rot in hell.
Yep, you just never know.
Yeah. To me, it's more of a bummer when a kicker throws up like a 24-point game and that wins it for a team. Even though it rarely happens.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen.
Or the games where it's down to a kicker and you're counting on your kicker to win the game for you.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I would miss that. Yeah. I would miss facing a kicker or having a kicker Monday night. Yeah. And that being like your last hope. Your last chance at just a horrible defeat.
Yeah, no, I like that. But we'll see where everyone falls in
the other one was like the PPR, and I like PPR in daily fantasy. I don't know if I like it for our, you know what I mean, for our dynasty league. That changes a lot of things.
It does.
That would certainly, like if we decide to do that, we need to decide like a year in advance.
Yeah.
Everyone would need a year to like adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to throw that in on us right now because that would obviously make certain players, and all of a sudden Danny Woodhead's probably getting drafted number 1.
Yep.
Well, maybe not number 1, but you know what I mean.
But close to the top, yeah.
So I don't think that's just something we can vote on and change immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
that's pretty much it for rule changes. Any final thoughts on that? I like the flex. That's my final thought.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I like it too.
It looks like it's heading that direction too.
I know at first when we first mentioned it a while back, I think there was a lot of people who were like, no, like, you know, because then people start to think, well, I would have drafted differently, but I think we're so far along now that I think people can adjust.
And we've talked about it for like 2 years. In fact, I think we pretty much voted on it last year and it passed. It was like not an official vote, but it was like it was agreed upon. I don't remember if it was at the draft or maybe it was just a conversation I was having with a bunch of different people at the time. But I remember thinking like, oh yeah, but I think it was just too far along.
Yeah.
But I did make it a point, like I wrote it in my phone, like rule change possibilities for the upcoming season. I was surprised I remembered to go find it, but that was like one of the few up there that I was like, oh yeah, we definitely got to look into this.
Yeah. Now I think the burning question is, can we have 2 kickers?
Man, you almost made me spit my Coke out. 2 kickers?
Yeah.
In a 16-team league? All
2
the kickers taken? All right, that's stupid. I like
Flex
it.
kicker.
All right, let's just do it. Let's just throw it in there.
Some kickers put up a ton of points, so.
Yeah. All right, let's moving on. Next.
Yeah.
Well, we were gonna do some review stuff, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm totally unprepared for this.
Fuego,
you took a bunch of notes, fortunately for both of us, so I'm kind of winging it.
Yeah, because we were going to pod a couple months ago, I think, but we both just got busy. You moved.
And live in different cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just going to wing it.
Yeah. Well, okay, what was it? The AFC West, though? Was that the division we were talking about doing in review?
AFC West.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the AFC West last year, right?
Yeah, so AFC West was the Tatooine Womp-Rats, Kentucky, which I still think he needs to add a noun in there somewhere.
Screw it, man.
Because is Kentucky
it's
a noun?
It's going to ruin our friendship if I force him to do it.
Santa Cruz Red Carpet Car Wash, and the Clovis Gnomes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So those are the 4 teams.
I think Lance got off to a strong start again last year, didn't he? Didn't he start off like 2-1?
I think he does that every year. Like he starts like 3-0, 4-0, and then just.
Lance, way to stay strong with Amari Cooper, man. I think I offered you the world for him a few times.
I think everybody offered him the world for Cooper.
He didn't let him go.
Nope.
Yep.
Or
good for you, Lance.
Or Carr. You know, we all kind of laughed when he drafted Carr last year, and
yeah, he's looking good.
He was the 14th quarterback overall, so
yeah,
not too bad.
It's looking bright in Raider Nation. I hate to say it.
So we can start with the Wombrats. They finished 8-4.
Defending champion.
Yeah.
Two-time defending champion.
And I think we both predicted for them to win the division and the championship.
I don't remember if I did a champion prediction.
Yeah.
All right.
I went back and listened.
I probably did. Okay. All right. Fine.
Or high hopes that they have a really legitimate chance to win it again.
Well, no offense, but his team looked a lot better going into last year than it does going into. It's still going to be a fine team. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, Calvin Johnson really retiring and yeah,
it sucks.
I have faith in Steven. Steven will figure something out anyways.
So he won the division,
right?
And
so
then he lost for one. He lost to me in the playoffs. So that's where his run ended.
In the randomizer, he lost.
He lost, and his top 3 players last year, which this kind of blew me away. Blake Bortles was his top player.
That doesn't completely
Julio Jones and Calvin Johnson.
Yeah. Julio's gonna be the man for a while.
Yeah, and Blake Bortles, which I really didn't follow much of how he did, but he was the number 4 quarterback overall.
Man, Blake Bortles, Allen Hurns, and Allen Robinson is pretty lethal trio there. I'm so pissed off. I had both Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns at my team at some point.
Yeah.
I think punched them away somehow. I don't even want to revisit.
Yeah, we'll leave that buried.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest surprise was Blake Bortles. Because I don't know. I really didn't. Not that I doubted Blake Bortles, but I just didn't think he would be number 4 quarterback.
Well, we knew the Jaguars would be playing from behind a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the good thing about a Blake Bortles was that he was going to have the full games to get as many points as he can and see a bunch of prevent defenses at the end. But they had a lot of big plays just in general. It wasn't like pure junk time points. They were a force all year.
Yeah.
Him and Allen Robinson.
I think they'll be a sneaky good team this year.
Yeah.
They
that
keep getting
division's
better.
whack, so.
And I think we could probably both agree on worst performance on that team, which was Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, it's a bummer. He got injured, but he wasn't doing so hot anyways. I mean, he just wasn't Jimmy Graham. I mean, I think as far as tight ends go, he was still middle of the road. Like, he was still a tight end 1. You know what I mean? I think he was still one of the top 16 tight ends.
Number 17.
By the end of the year he was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, see, he was still rolling along. It's just if you don't have Gronk, it's tough. Or Barnage. Apparently Barnage is...
Barnage, baby.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah. Jordan Reed, too.
But I don't know, I kind of saw that coming because Seattle... They've never been a really tight end team.
I didn't have high hopes for Jimmy Graham or DeMarco Murray heading into that last season.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make me smart. It's just like those guys were they were obviously in good shape where they were at. So it was hard for me to imagine
that they could replicate
anything changing and then it being better. You know, that was a tough. That was a tough sell for me.
Yeah. And up next, we have Kentucky, who finished 6-6. I predicted them to be 3rd in the division.
What did I say?
And then you predicted them no more than 7 wins or less than 5.
Oh, okay.
So
I was right.
You were right. Yeah.
Oh,
and you said that fringe playoff team. So
did they squeeze in or did they were the first team out?
Yeah, I think he had a shot until the second to last week.
No, he had a shot going into the last week.
The last week?
Yeah. No, I was totally right.
Yeah.
You got it.
Good call on that.
I'm 2 for 2.
And so he barely missed the playoffs. He ended up finishing 2nd in the division.
No, he must have made the playoffs then.
No, he missed the playoffs.
So 3 teams from the other division made the playoffs?
Well, yeah, my division, there was the Coal Squeezers, Belgium, and me. All 3 of us made the playoffs. All right, that's it.
I'm pulling out my phone. The phone's coming out.
I'm telling you. That's what happened.
Okay, fine.
And I think it was, I had beaten him. And there was,
oh, yes, I do remember this. Because I had a conversation with Darren, and I was like, man, only one team's going to make it from your division because you all beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, so he just missed it. Either way, I was right.
So, yeah, he just missed it. And his top 3 players were Tom Brady, Devonta Freeman, and Jay Cutler.
Devonta Freeman, man, that was out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody really predicted that he would go insane.
Where did he have Devonta Freeman on? Maybe you can't answer this, but did he have Devonta Freeman on his roster when the season started, or did he pick him up? I think he actually had him on his roster when it started.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, good for. That was a good job by Shane.
Yeah.
His team really. I wouldn't say obviously didn't. Oh, here comes all the text messages since I just turned my phone on, and I'm that popular. Probably all from Maury.
So that was probably the biggest surprise was Freeman, because I mean he was hot for a long time, and just he ended up being the number 1 running back.
Yeah, he never tailed off.
Yeah,
like he missed a couple weeks, but man, he was out of nowhere. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone now.
No,
you're right. He didn't make it.
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry, I doubted you.
Oh, it's all good, man.
Yeah,
I did my homework.
I had a good job. What was the next team?
And we'll finish off with worst performance for that team.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I wrote a couple notes. So I think Julian Edelman got hurt, so I think that was a big blow to his receivers. And he invested heavily in rookie running backs, so Yeldon and Amir Abdullah.
Yeah, Abdullah was disappointing.
Yeah, they didn't perform very well.
Yeldon, disappointing, but at least he was on the field and doing something.
Yeah.
But yeah. I agree with that.
And up next, we have the Santa Cruz Red Carpet Car Wash, who finished 5-7, and we both predicted that he'd finish 2nd in the division.
Where did he finish? 3rd?
He finished 3rd. Yeah.
Behind Shane. All right. Well, 2 for 3.
Yeah, and his top 3 players were Antonio Brown, who ended up being the number 1 receiver overall in fantasy, Matt Ryan, and DeAndre Hopkins. So two top 10 receivers on his team.
Yeah, Antonio Brown's and DeAndre Hopkins. Come on, Darren. Get it together, man.
Not fair.
So 2.
And let's see.
He has Kevin White too.
Yeah.
And Steve Smith.
Stashed away.
Like I don't know if Steve Smith's going to be any good, but
yeah.
Kevin White is Darren might have the best 3 receivers.
Maybe, we'll see.
Maury's scolding right now, but no, he might. We'll see what Kevin White has in store.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Biggest surprise, I don't know. I looked at his roster and there was really nothing surprising. Ted Ginn was number 3 receiver on his roster. There was really nothing I saw there that I thought, oh yeah, that was a...
Well, Eddie Lacy... Oh, wait, we haven't gotten the biggest disappointment. But Eddie Lacy's sucking would have been like the biggest surprise to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was probably the worst performance. He finished number 25 in running backs.
Jason Witten didn't have a good year either.
Mm-mm. And Starks finished actually ahead of Lacy in fantasy running backs.
Lacy, so. We'll see. You know what? It surprised me the Packers did not draft a running back. I had them circled as one of the teams, whatever running back they took, I wanted to try and get him somewhere in the draft.
Yeah.
I can share this now because it didn't happen. But, yeah.
You would have been...
I guess, yeah, I would have tried to 2nd or 3rd round any running back they drafted, I think.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But, yeah, I don't know if you saw the pictures came out of Eddie Lacy again, like, oh, he's slimmed down. Like, Eddie Lacy has lost some weight, and that's always the thing every year.
Yeah, but supposedly he's really lost weight this time. And, it's pretty far away from the...
Good news, Darren.
Well, is Eddie Lacy in a contract year, too? I think Eddie Lacy has to perform well this year. Yeah.
Because he was in the doghouse last year, so we'll see how he does this year.
Or he's Trent Richardson, too. We'll see.
And let's see here. Rounding out the bottom, we have the infamous Clovis genomes.
Yeah, but he ended up 5-7.
Yeah.
He ended up with the same record as Darren.
Yeah, 5-7. We both predicted last in the division, so we got that right.
3 for 4.
Yeah. And his top 3 players were Derek Carr, D'Angelo Williams, and Doug Baldwin.
Yeah, who's no longer on his team.
No.
Yes, he is now on my team. Yeah, I think Justin Forsett getting hurt killed him.
Yeah.
But D'Angelo Williams coming out of nowhere definitely won him some games.
Yeah. Williams finished number 4 running back.
Yeah, the Baldwin-Amari Cooper combo was actually not terrible. I mean, Baldwin...
Yeah.
Where did Baldwin finish? He finished like 6th?
Number 7.
Yeah, Baldwin...
Number 35 overall. So.
Maury and I had a debate about whether or not we thought Baldwin could replicate that. I feel like...
Well, you invested in him,
obviously, it's clear what I thought. But Baldwin's going to be interesting to follow this year.
Yeah. But yeah, that was probably one of the biggest surprises was either D'Angelo or Baldwin.
I think D'Angelo Williams. He looked good, man. D'Angelo Williams looked like a starting NFL running back.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just Pittsburgh's offensive line. He played really well.
Yeah. And,
is he still with Pittsburgh? Is that what happened?
I don't know. I don't know if he just signed like a 1-year deal or if
I think he's still with Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Which is probably good for Le'Veon Bell as far as, I don't know. They'll be a pretty good tandem.
Yeah.
Again.
You hit on the worst performance, which, I mean, he was injured a lot, but Justin Forsett, well, that was the kind of the letdown for his team because, yeah. If Forsett would have been healthy and with Williams, I think Lance probably could have snuck in.
Well, I mean, he was really one game away from. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't far off, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what his schedule or what the scores were or the outcomes of the games he played, but obviously he was 2 wins away from a postseason berth.
Yeah. Not
that 2 wins is minimal, but it's also, like I said, if we looked at the schedule, we might find 2 games that he almost won, that he lost. Yeah, so we went 3 for 4.
3 for 4, not bad.
75%.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's going to be the best we do in any of these divisions, I think.
Yeah,
or at least for me. For me, that's probably the best I did in any division.
Probably all downhill from here.
Yeah.
When it comes to the rest of the divisions.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
I think that's all we got.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon got high.
Again.
What else? How far? We're like 30 minutes into this?
28 minutes.
Okay. Do we want to talk about anything else, like rookies or anything? I kind of don't, because
We could save it.
Yeah, I kind of don't. That's going to be tough. I really don't want to talk about any of that until after we actually draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, there's certain stuff I'm okay talking about, but then there's certain things where I just know it's going to bite me in the ass.
If you talk about it.
Yeah.
Not
that I'm like so confident I'm right. It's just gonna kill me if someone takes like Amir Abdullah right before me again.
Yeah.
Even though Amir Abdullah didn't end up, I was devastated.
Yeah.
My draft did not go how, like, both guys I wanted last year got picked right in front of me. Dang. Abdullah, and then the other one was Coleman. But the funny thing is, I probably lucked out because I have DHB or DGB now.
Yeah.
Green Beckham, he's gonna be sick.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's gonna be sick. He's gonna be sick.
How about could you name the rookie that you're most excited about?
Oh, heading in? Yeah. I mean, it's Elliott, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even care. It's such a no-brainer.
Yeah.
He might be the most promising rookie as far as fantasy-wise. Well, even just NFL. He's probably the most. That was a perfect. What's funny is, I got really excited when Dallas drafted him because I was afraid the Bears were going to draft him at 11, and that was going to ruin things for Langford.
Yeah.
And then when Dallas took him, I was all pumped. I just stopped watching the draft. That's all I wanted to know is where Ezekiel Elliott was going to go. And then I realized DJ's in my division, and now he's going to have Elliott. Yeah. And DJ's team is already good. So that's not good.
Nope.
That's not. He gets to replace Marshawn Lynch right out of the gate with Ezekiel Elliott. What a bastard.
I think, and then he just made a trade too where he has another...
Yeah, he has top 2 picks.
Yeah.
That's right. He's going to do something stupid with the second pick. Whoever has number 2 is going to miss.
Danny Woodhead.
Because they're going to pick Coleman or Treadwell.
Yeah.
And I don't think those guys are what it's all about. But maybe I'm just saying that because I hope somehow they fall to number 20.
Yeah, they suck. They suck so bad.
No, I just don't like where he landed with the Vikings.
Yeah.
He was my second favorite player before the NFL draft. He's not anymore.
No, yeah, he went to a...
I watched many of Viking games
interesting
since
team.
I was an Adrian Peterson owner. And Teddy Bridgewater, he's gotta get it together.
Struggle's real, man.
But once again, it might have just been he was throwing deep balls miles past his receivers because he just was playing it safe and didn't trust him to make a play for him. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's all we got.
That's it.
All right. Well, big shout out to everyone. Thanks for everyone getting back to me on the wireless stuff. That was cool.
Well done.
Remember to vote on the actual site. One brief announcement. If you guys haven't done it already, now our Fantasy League site makes you sign up with an account with them.
Yeah. So
there's myfantasyleague.com. You have to create an account with them and then link your franchise to it. There is instructions on like the homepage on how to do it when you try to log in as an owner. But if you can't figure it out, just text me. I think everyone's been able to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I've had like 10 people say, "Hey, I forgot my password." And I had to tell them, "No, you didn't. Don't worry, you're not going crazy. It's just that you have to create an account and then go to the top right of our page and hit link franchise and link it with that account."
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Pod soon.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it again soon.